Governor, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
I'm sure now that you're in private sector, life is a lot less stressful than the time that you were leading, because you led Nevada at a time like we've never seen before.
It was a difficult time. It was a difficult time, but you don't know what you're getting into when you're elected. You know what could possibly come up, and like I said in the past, you expect to face, maybe a wildfire, or flood, or an economic downturn. You don't expect a pandemic that's going to kill 12,000 people. You just don't expect that to happen.
And tomorrow I'm also talking to Mayor Goodman, because she was on the other side of the spectrum, as you remember. She was on CNN talking to Anderson Cooper. That became a very infamous interview, so to speak. But you both had conflicting ideas. She wanted to see Las Vegas open, and you felt that the Strip needed to close. Do you regret any of that, or would you still do the same thing today?
Absolutely don't regret any of it. I mean, we could not use Las Vegas as a petri dish. It just wouldn't work. I mean, COVID was spreading across the country. People were dying. It was just beginning. It was ramping up. And to think of what could have happened, especially with the tourism capital that Las Vegas is, that people would come here for a convention, for a social gathering, or whatever it might be, and then leave and go back, whether they're going back to Texas, they're going to New York, they're going to Singapore, they're going to Hong Kong, wherever they're going, England, and take the disease with them. And it would have just exacerbated the spread, and that would not have been good. I mean, it was just the thought of keeping it open. We knew it was spreading with close contact, and it would have been irresponsible to keep it open.
So just briefly, tell me about those conversations when this first started inside the state capitol. What were those conversations, especially when it comes to the heartbeat of Las Vegas and the Strip, and knowing that that was going to shut down?
Right. Well, early on, how I first became aware of it, I was at the National Governors Conference in Washington, D.C., and it was President Trump's first term, and he had his health experts come up. He'd left the room and say, look, we're aware of this virus that's out there, this COVID-19. We don't anticipate it's going to be a problem. We've got a handle on it. We're prepared, and so forth and so on. Well, I get home, and 2 weeks later, okay, the first case is discovered back east, and then there's a case discovered, I think, in Washington, some in California. It's like, okay, this is starting to really grow quickly here. Then we had the first case in Nevada in March, and then it was growing very, very quickly. And we were probably a week, 2 weeks behind some of the other parts of the country. And when you saw what was happening there, you knew what was coming here. You knew we were going to have to face some tough situations. And we certainly did face the tough situations.
And one of the biggest, toughest situations, in my opinion, that you faced is when the Strip shut down. By the way, I remember Darcy doing pieces that people who left CES in January here were violently ill, and they did not know what they had. So there was a lot of talk that it could have even started even prior, that there could have been cases of COVID in January at CES. But you did have to make a tough decision. And one of the things that really kind of exploded, especially for us here, and me personally for here, were people reaching out. The Strip closes, independent contractors, the Strip and Nevada closes, we close. Suddenly there's people with no paychecks and no money coming in. And that was a very scary space to be in.
It was tremendously scary. And to make that decision, there were a lot of sleepless nights that I had trying to, deal with all these situations, all the information that was coming in. And we tried to be as transparent as we could in terms of giving the information out to the general public and the business community so they knew what was happening. I had regular contact with the labor leaders, with the business community, with the gaming industry, with the faith-based communities, the education. There wasn't one community subset of people that we didn't meet with. I mean, we're on Zoom calls constantly to try to, it was a two-way communication. I was trying to get information from them. We were trying to give them information that we thought that they needed. And I knew when we made the decision to close the Strip, first off, I never thought it was going to be closed for so long. I thought it was going to be a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. We'll get a handle on this and it'll be done. Well, a week turned into 2 weeks, turned into a month, and 2 months. It never could have anticipated it was going to linger and go and keep growing for this long. But it was a situation where we were of, okay, what are you going to have to do? We had, we're going to have to get resources in these people's hands. They need food to feed their families, to take care of themselves. We had people that were, I remember they used to volunteer at the food bank on a regular basis, and suddenly they were clients of the food banks. And we had food banks set up all over where people were driving up and they're opening up their trunk, and we'd put in a box full of groceries, some produce and some meat and pastas or something that they could cook, they could eat for a little while on. So we tried to get as much help as we could out as quickly as we could.
And we were hearing from people that didn't think it was quick enough, and we were advocating for them. And I know I was very strong at that time, coming for you and saying, hey, Governor, are we going to call in the National Guard? I was tweeting Senator Rosen, Dina Titus, anybody to get help for people. I think this highlighted, though, that we have a broken DETR system. People weren't getting paid fast enough.
Well, DETR was broken, and I understand. I got from a comment what you said originally. It's never fast enough when it's you, and I agree with that. But we were dealing with tens of thousands of cases, and you get one viewer that's calling in, and I understand their problem is the most important problem.
Well, I got more than one viewer.
I know, but
we were getting hundreds of viewers.
But
I was staying up till 4:30 in the morning answering every viewer because there was such a need.
Yeah.
And I just wanted the Thomas and Mack to open and gift cards to be handed out for people because they were literally dire. Do you know, to this day, Governor, I still hear from people who say thank you so much for trying to help people during that time, because we were freaking out. Families were so scared.
Yeah, they were, and I understand why they were scared. I totally get why they're scared. But the system was never set up to deal with any of that. We did call out the National Guard to help where we could, to help in terms of crowds, to help in terms of checks and vaccinations and testing and so forth and so on. DETR was never set up to handle this many people this quickly. It still isn't. I mean, if you think it's fixed, it's not fixed.
That's a problem.
It's definitely a problem. Now, I hope that we'll never need it like we needed it then. I mean, you never would have anticipated handling the amount of claims in a week that you normally would handle in a year. I mean, I was going through staff at DETR. They were quitting. They couldn't take it anymore. They were getting abused. We had to call out. We had protection at some of the managers at DETR at their homes. Wow. Because they were getting, people are going over and they're irate, and I get why people are upset. It's themselves, their families, their loved ones. I totally understand that. But we did the best we could. Our staff worked night and day. They worked tirelessly. I mean, they worked hard to get that out there. And in spite of all that, you still had enormous amounts of fraud that went on. People were filing for unemployment that didn't deserve it. They're filing 4, 5, 6 names. We're giving out the business loans, if you remember.
Yep.
Millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars was lost to fraudsters as a result of this, because we couldn't get the money into the right hands. The logistics of reaching out to the number of people that needed help, we just don't have an infrastructure in place to do that. And there wasn't one, there isn't one today.
So looking back, what would you have done different? Would you have done anything different?
Well, I don't know how we could have done, the biggest thing to get into people's hands is food. We needed to get foods, and if that's done through gift cards. But you talk about gift cards, it was hard to give gift cards to go to a store. You couldn't buy toilet paper. You couldn't buy crackers. You couldn't buy paper. It was crazy. With the grocery stores, the shelves were all empty.
Well, people just needed something. There were literally people that they went months with no money coming in and no job.
Yeah, and they had no jobs. You're right. The only thing one of the things I think I had to change is we needed to get food. We need to have a system better to get the necessities, the most basic necessities, which is food, into families' hands. That didn't exist. That was all taken on by the philanthropic community and faith-based communities. We had a lot of meetings about that, and they all stepped up, and they were gathering food, and the hotels were donating what they had to give it out to people so it didn't go to waste. Nothing was being wasted, but we didn't have the resources. Nevada isn't a California. It's not a New York or Florida or Illinois that you've got enormous resources. I mean, we're kind of hands-on ourselves. We're the little guy in the group.
Right.
And we did the best we could with the limited resources we had, but we didn't have any more resources. We didn't have any more to give out.
So you were in a very tough situation during your term. You had a broken DETR system that couldn't handle the claims coming in. People couldn't get food fast enough. Do you think that had an impact on the next election?
Absolutely. But I wouldn't have changed anything. I mean, we did what we had to do to protect people's lives. I mean, we lost 12,000 Nevadans that we could quantify, that we categorize as losing them to COVID. How many more it could be, I don't know. But I don't know how many tens of thousands of lives we saved as a result of what we put in place.
And that you feel good about?
I feel very good about that. I feel very good about the fact that, we kept people as safe as we possibly could. Now, sometimes they didn't like the restrictions that we put in place. And I mean, I wasn't living high on the hog. I was getting death threats on a regular basis. My security was doubled. I mean, people were attacking my family. I mean, it was a hard thing to go through. People were so angry. And I understand why they're angry, but it wasn't that somebody was, that we weren't trying. We did the best we possibly could with what we had. And I think we did a pretty darn good job considering all the things that happened. And had we not implemented some of the regulations and restrictions and protocols that we did put in place, it would have been a lot worse.
And so, you know, as tomorrow, so you feel good about that. And now, having said all that, what you just said, with people coming for you and the death threats and doubling your security, how you must enjoy now the quiet of not, because you did come out of a tough situation. COVID isn't easy for any leader.
No.
Because you can't win for losing in a lot of situations.
You can't win for losing. I feel good about what we did. I still feel sorry and pray about every one of those lives that we lost every single day. I mean, those aren't just statistics, and people lose sight of that. Or should they lose sight that 12,000, that's 12,000 families. Yeah. And when you think about that, that's 12,000 seats at somebody's Thanksgiving table, there's nobody sitting in that chair.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of lives that were destroyed. I remember talking to people that would beg me to call. I'd have to call a doctor that could FaceTime a spouse to talk to their loved ones so they could say goodbye because they were dying.
It was so crazy.
I remember fighting for ventilators to try to get more ventilators, and a doctor pulling me aside and saying, Governor, you put somebody on a ventilator, we usually don't get them off the ventilator. I mean, that's the last stop, you know, kind of thing. I remember fighting for, we didn't have enough masks and gowns, any of that sort of stuff that other states had access to. And we don't have a lot of political pull to get that stuff. We had a great outpouring from some of the resort industries. Sheldon Adelson stepped up and flew his plane with stuff from Macau. Jim Murren was flying stuff in from Macau. I mean, we're getting stuff from Bear Gold is bringing stuff in. I mean, everybody was doing everything they possibly could to help us. But yet people were angry. And I understand they're angry, and I was an easy person to be angry with, I guess. You know, I wish we could have done more. I wish we could have saved one more life. I wish we could have provided one more food. But believe me, we did what we could to try to get there. But you saw the best in people. You saw people that we'd ask them to reach out to a family member, a neighbor that you haven't seen for a while, just to check on them, make sure they're okay. Because mental health was a whole nother issue that we're trying to deal through at the time. Bake an extra casserole and take it down the street to your neighbors so they'd have something to eat. We did what we possibly could, and the jobs that were lost and the businesses that closed to try to get us through that. But
yeah, a lot of people never came back from COVID.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Sad.
And we did what we could, and hopefully people are on the upside from there now.
You know, my mother-in-law, who's now 90, she lost her best friend to COVID. I mean, you know, so it did hit home, and we knew people in the community. All of us knew somebody.
Oh, everybody knew somebody. I lost dozens of people with COVID, and I remember somebody calling and begging me, Governor, I've never asked you for anything. I've always supported you. I just want to get in the hospital and say goodbye to my wife. Can't do it. I can't do it. I can get you to somebody to put you on their FaceTime and you can see them, but you can't get in there. We don't know. And we didn't know what to do. Tricia, we were building hospital rooms in Renown's parking garage.
Yeah, I remember that.
That we didn't have enough space to put patients in the hallways of the hospitals. You couldn't get in the hospital to visit a loved one. People that needed different surgeries had to have them postponed because COVID was taking over the whole hospital. It was just an unknown. It was changing day by day. We're getting flooded with so much information. It was not good information they were getting until we finally got a handle on it. The first thing I did in the morning, I'd get to the office, and before I could even have my first cup of coffee, they'd give me the sheet that shows me what the death total is for the day before and what our running death total is and how many people we have on ventilators and deal with the hospital community. We get the hospital CEOs on the phone and talk about capacity. How much capacity do you have left? And what can we possibly do? And get the faith-based people, okay, look, can we get another food bank set up? Can we do this? Can we do that? But they all stepped up. Had we not had that, we'd have been even worse shape.
So you were putting a tremendous amount of pressure on Dieter to get the checks quicker. And do you think that's why some people left? Or they were just feeling the great weight of the pressure, the media, everything to get people paid?
I mean, I think that they felt a great deal of pressure. I mean, that's the story that became the most personal for people. You could talk about deaths and needing ventilators, but they were safe. They didn't have any in their immediate family, but they weren't getting an unemployment check, or they weren't getting, any unemployment compensation whatsoever, and they couldn't get any answers. You couldn't get phone. When you're set up to handle 10 claims a day, and you get 1,000 claims a day, you can understand, I get it. They called 1,000 times and they could never get through on the phone. I got that. It was always busy. I totally understand that. Nothing you could do could prepare to have a system that was set up to handle that many people that in such a short period of time.
So it didn't improve our system in the aftermath. So if this same situation were to happen today under Governor Lombardo, he would be dealing with the same broken system?
Well, I think that there's some of the infrastructure has improved. Some of the capacity we didn't invest, they've invested tens of millions of dollars into the infrastructure, the computer technology to handle some of the sort of stuff that you don't have to talk to a live person. At the time when I was doing it, we had to talk to a live person.
Right.
You had a caseworker that had to handle it and fill out the form. That's been resolved, I think, to a certain extent, but then the system was overwhelmed and it crashed. And I think that it would be better, but I think they'd still have major problems, yeah.
Okay. And then what else did I, speaking of Mayor Goodman, former Mayor Goodman, so you two saw it very differently. What was your whole take when, and that's what she's recently said that she wants an apology from Anderson Cooper. When you saw that interview, because everybody saw it, what was your thoughts about that?
I saw the interview, and I was like, wait a minute, I couldn't have seen this right. I missed something. Let's see this again. So again, I just shook my head. I was like, I can't believe this is what she's saying. What is she possibly thinking? I mean, what could have happened had we kept Las Vegas and the downtown? And so everybody knows, I wasn't shutting down the casinos against their will. I mean, it wasn't like I was forcing them to shut down and lose their business. They were coming to me saying, look, Governor, we got to do something. Maybe we should shut down. Maybe we should do something. They were totally supportive. They understood what we were facing. I don't know what she was thinking. Had we kept these resorts open, and like you say happened with Darcy's interview with CES, what would happen if we'd had conventions for one more month? And these people would have gone back home all over the world, all over the country, and taken the COVID with them when they went back. I don't know if the resort industry could have ever recovered from that. I don't think it could have ever recovered from that. I mean, we recovered from 1 October, but that took some time because, you know, people's minds.
You handled that very well.
Well,
you and our sheriff, I thought both of you did a great job.
We worked together on that one, yeah. We raised a lot of money, tried to help people as best we possibly could.
Yeah, you guys immediately. I was so proud of the way our leadership handled 1 October.
That was not to say easier, but it was kind of different than dealing with a medical pandemic. I don't know what the mayor was thinking at the time. Like I said, I initially thought maybe she was misunderstood. I didn't get it. I mean, the thought of using Las Vegas or Nevada as a control group just boggles my mind. I just, for the life of me, can't understand how somebody could even propose putting our folks' lives at risk. I mean, we're a gambling town, but I'm certainly not going to advocate for gambling with people's lives, and that's what that would have been.
Perfect soundbite. Thank you, Governor. I appreciate your time, really.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Sorry I was so hard on you.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I understood you're dealing with what you're dealing with. I mean, I got it from everybody.
was getting a lot of pressure from our viewers to get them money, and I was trying in any way I could to help the people that were reaching out to us.
Don't be sorry. You did your job, and you did a good job of it.
Yeah.
But certain things are set up for everything got capacity. You just don't have the capacity to deal with the number of people that we're getting. And it sickened me that people were taking advantage of the situation. Then I was like, okay, at one time it was okay, look, just pay all the claims. Let's get them paid. Let's stop the investigating. Let's go back afterwards and investigate these claims. And that loosened it up a little bit. But still then, it was an ongoing, nonstop fight. And you think about not having enough food to give your kids, so you can't give them dinner or make lunch for them. You don't think that that's something you're really going to have to face, but
that was the first time that I really wanted to be inside government to see if how I could have problem solved. But you're saying it was an archaic system, and that's hard because you have to follow the state rules and regulations, and I understand that. But in a case like that, I just felt that we could have thrown all that out the window and just gone straight to the people, because this situation never happened before in the course of our lifetime. So I thought everything should be off the table and we should just open up and take an accounting with people's social security number and everything and just, input it in a computer, but give them that money, whether it's cash, gift cards, whatever, just get the people the money that the state has. That's what I felt we could have done. In any way we could have done it.
Any way we could have done it, but as it was, we lost hundreds of millions of dollars to fraudsters as a result of this thing. And now people are like, oh, you had no controls in place. You're letting people just steal the money. You let them go, well, okay, you can't win for losing.
Right.
With every decision you made, if you made a decision about social distancing, some people said you didn't go far enough, some people said you went too far.
Right.
Whatever the situation was. Unemployment was one that I think people, the biggest problem was thought we had a better system in place than we did.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good. It wasn't,
Well, if there's a positive, maybe it did reform the infrastructure a little bit where we're better at detecting fraud.
I think maybe we're better at detecting fraud, but the bad guys are better at perpetrating fraud too. I mean, they've always got new methods in place. And so I don't think you can ever prepare for the deluge of, people that you're going to get and applicants that you're going to get. And while I know that to say, I think it was 70 million they put in a new system. That sounds like a lot of money, but I mean, that was probably antiquated a year after they put the system in place. Every state had the same problem. It wasn't just us. Every state was having the same problem with unemployment because we talked to other jurisdictions. Okay, are you doing something we can't do? And most of the food stuff was relegated to the nonprofits. Really stepped up and did a great job. I mean, I went to dozens and dozens of food banks where we handled people where they got food, they bought food, they had food donated, and sent it out to people. But you remember, we're telling people to wipe off your groceries when you got them home. You couldn't buy toilet paper. There were certain things you couldn't buy as a result of that.
My sister was sending me toilet paper from California. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy time.
It was a very crazy time.
You had a difficult situation for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. You couldn't really win for losing.
No, you couldn't win for losing, but like I said, I know it cost me the election. There's not a doubt in my mind, and my people told me they're going in, but I wouldn't change that. It was
Would you ever run again?
I don't know. I get asked all the time. So we'll see. Maybe in 2 years.
Yeah.